Hi, Vestine, the Mindset Mom here, and I help entrepreneurs just like you work out the inner you so that you can achieve the success that you deserve. Now, today we're going to be talking about a highly effective way to do mental priming, or what's called brain priming, priming the mind for success. Now, if you have been with me on this channel for any length of time, you know that I bring you tips, tricks, and tools on how to prime your brain for the success that you so desire in your business. Here's the thing. The subconscious mind processes 400 billion pieces of information per second. That is an amazing amount of information. And knowing that we have this amazing tool, this awesome computer like organ for the brain that is responsible for how we think, feel, act, and is largely responsible for our financial success, our relationship success, doesn't it make sense that you work out this inner organ as well as your outside body? We spend so much time trying to get fit and exercise and get these bodies into the best shape that we can get, but there is no other organ that is more responsible for even your financial glass ceiling than the mind. Now, I would like to take you on this journey. If you would like to join me each and every morning for these brain priming exercises, it will set the tone for your day and get you going in the right direction so that you can achieve your goals and this for success and for your career and feelings of fulfillment in your life. Now, here's the thing about the subconscious. We go toward what is familiar. And as I talked in the last video, we're wired that way by the Creator, and it's for a good reason. We need to always come back to what's familiar. In fact, the things that we need to do to replace the old familiar, we need to familiarize ourselves with that through the repetition process. A mentor of mine always says, repetition is the mother of skill. And I tell my children that, and I tell my teammates that, and it is the absolute truth. So what I'm going to teach you today is how to repeat the right things, how to prime your brain for success. Now, what we're going to be talking about today is actually something that star athletes practice on a regular basis. It's something that every person who has achieved any amount of success probably can tell you that they did on some level or another, and that's visualizations. Now, I want to tell you that we innately know that this is true. Have you ever had a time where you were either trying to make that basketball goal, or you were trying to hit that ball into the outfield, or maybe you were just going for a high grade on that exam? What did you do to prime your brain? Didn't you visualize yourself reaching that goal? Well, that's what we're talking about today. Visualization is a practice, and a mental exercise, if you will, that will help you in your prefrontal cortex activity. Now, what is a prefrontal cortex? What it is we know that the subconscious is housed in the amygdala part of the brain, which is a more primitive, a more basic part of the brain. The prefrontal cortex is actually the part in the front of your brain and is responsible for making higher order decisions, problem solving, and the like, which is very important to us entrepreneurs, wouldn't you think? So what the prefrontal cortex, it's actually the largest in humans than any other mammal, and it is a powerful tool that can be used in business and in our careers, as well as our families and our homes. Now, what we can do is we can calm the emotional sort of reactive part of the brain in order to transfer more feelings of positivity and feelings of feeling good toward the prefrontal cortex. Now, when we do that and we add that emotional, powerful punch to it as a component in our visualizations, what happens is that it actually can change the neural pathways in our brain. You're actually able to change the DNA expression in your brain. And then pretty soon, once you do that on repetition, then we start making different types of decisions, almost on autopilot. Does that make sense? Okay, I was talking to a friend about this the other day, and it was interesting because she said, I know what you're talking about, because the other day I found my old dart set and I put it up and I thought, I'm going to try to do this again because, I used to do it and it got really good, and then I just haven't done it for a while. And what she did was she told me that she actually visualized in her mind, using her imagination, visualized herself throwing the dart and actually making the target, the bullseye. And she tried it, and you know what? She was successful. She was able to do that. Why? Because she had done what we're talking about today. The practice of visualization is very, very powerful. Now, I'm going to give you some ideas and tips that you can use to make your visualizations, to maximize them and make them work for you even more. One of the things is our breathing. Now, many times we need to calm the mental chatter that we have. When we start breathing, we're thinking about the grocery list, we're thinking about our errands we have to run later, we're thinking about when we should schedule that plumber to come fix the sink, and all these sort of things. So what we need to do is we need to find a quiet place. And I'm going to walk you through this. We need to find a quiet place. We need to start our breathing, and you're breathing deeply in through the nose and slowly out through your mouth. And that's going to, once you do that on a regular pattern, that's going to calm some of that chatter, that mental chatter that we have going on in our brains. And then once we do that, and there's a little thing that I'm going to tell you to do right as you start breathing that's really going to give a powerful punch to your visualization. Once we start doing that and our breathing is much slowed down, we almost get sort of a sinky, floaty feeling. That means that you're entering into the alpha brainwave state, where the brain is much more suggestive, especially the subconscious. And when we do that, then we can use these imaginative pictures in our minds to start making our brain go toward what we want it to go toward. In other words, start imagining yourself reaching your goals, checking off that list, seeing your account fill up with money, seeing that program you're about to launch be successful, see that number of subscribers on your YouTube channel or on your Twitter feedback. Okay, so we want to see these things in our minds because the imagination is powerful and the Creator has gifted us with it for a purpose, because He wants us to master our mindset so that we can help not only ourselves and our families, but also to go out and help other people. Okay, so now the first thing you want to do is to get into that alpha brainwave state. Now what you do is you find a comfortable position. Just rest your hands on your lap, and you want to make sure your feet are just planted on the ground comfortably. You want to make sure your thighs and your hips and your shoulders are very relaxed. And then what you want to do is you want to look up. Okay, our ancient book of wisdom, the scriptures of the Tanakh, tells us, I lift my eyes up into the hills from whence cometh my help. My help comes from the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth. And what that does is scientists have found that when we look up into our eyebrows, we actually get a burst of alpha brainwaves, and that's where you're going to start. That's the area of your brain where you want to be when you do your visualizations, because it's almost like the brain takes it in more. You know, it's kind of like when you put lotion on dry skin. What does it do? It sucks it up, right? So we're going to have our subconscious suck up these suggestions like moisturizer, like a lotion, okay? Or like a sponge does to water. Now, when you look up, I want you to start your breathing in and out slowly, very slowly, but you're gonna be keeping your eyes up, okay? And then on about breath 3 or 4, you're gonna close your eyes as you exhale, okay? So you're gonna breathe in 3 times, looking up like this, and out. Keeping your body still, and again, and up, and out, keeping those eyes up. One more time, breathe deeply in. And as you exhale now, close your eyes slowly. You might feel your eyelids feel really, really heavy and droopy and almost feel like you're gonna fall asleep, but that actually, you're not gonna fall asleep. If you do, that's okay. You're probably a busy mom entrepreneur like me and you really need your sleep. But if you feel that drifting feeling, that's okay. That just means that you are going into alpha brainwave state. And in that state, you can start visualizing your success. Now, oftentimes it is very helpful to have like a guided visualization, somebody making suggestions. Now, I want to caution you here and make sure that you know the integrity of the person who is doing the suggesting. And I want you to know that even though we're in this alpha brainwave state, we still have control over our minds. All it is maximizing what star athletes do all the time, and the highest earners in your field probably employ this exercise on some level. And so I want to hope that you take this exercise and you spend maybe 10 or 15 minutes on it. And do this at least twice a day in the beginning. And Dr. Daniel Amen, who has done a lot of work with traumatic brain injured athletes and patients, has said that it takes about 8 weeks to repeat one of these mindset exercises in order to have that neuroplasticity, in order to change the brain. And that's very key, because you want to repeat this because our minds do what we feed it to do. And we have a lot of ingoing information that we give our minds and that our minds have been working with since you were a child. So when we start feeding it the new information, it's very, very important that you do it on a regular, constant basis, okay? And join me each morning to do these exercises and to get your day going in the right direction so that you can be the most successful entrepreneur and momtrepreneur that you can be. Okay, so that's all I have for this morning, and I'm just reminding you to be smart and be benevolent.